Stephanie Beavers, and I'm here to talk to you about symptoms to be aware of after a car accident. I hear a lot that people say, oh, it's just a fender bender, I don't really feel anything, I'm a little tight. That is your sign right there. There's a few things that are pretty minor that you can look for, one of which is constipation. So when you're in a traumatic event, even a minor fender bender causes your blood pressure to rise, your cortisol levels to rise, your stress level goes up. When your stress level goes up, the parts that keep your lungs moving, your heart pumping, your gut moving goes down. So a very common response is people are constipated. That's a sign to you. Your body is trying to heal something, it's trying to deal with something. And you need to be aware it might not take a very long time for your treatment, but you do need treatment. When you are in a traumatic event, the brain sends information to your body, to your muscles, to protect the structure. This is a safety mechanism to keep things from fracturing, tearing, those kinds of things. It doesn't always prevent, but that's its job, is to protect. When that happens, it's going to decrease your range of motion because the muscles are now set in a new way. They're tighter. They don't trust certain motions like looking over your shoulder or looking down or looking up, moving maybe between your shoulder blades are tight. So tight muscles are another symptom that your body is trying to deal with injury, even if it's minor. Another sign and symptom of an injury after a car accident, let's just say you have a headache, but you didn't hit your head, right? Just because you didn't hit your head doesn't mean you don't have a concussion. You need to make sure you tell your doctor if you have any headaches, dull, mild, severe throbbing. Any changes in your vision is a sign or symptom that there's something going on. Changes with your speech. Maybe you can't put sentences together like you used to, or maybe you're a little confused, or you can't seem to figure out how to dial 911 at that moment. That's things to be aware of. Ringing in the ears is another sign and symptom of concussion. And there are more severe things, if you can't stand up, if you're off balance, if you're dizzy, confused, very sleepy, the list can go on and on. All of these things are alerts that there's something that you need to have addressed. There are some other signs and symptoms that are a little more severe that you definitely should take seriously, which should be numbness and tingling. You might have that in the tips of your fingers, in the entire arm, maybe leg, maybe just into the top of the glutes, around front to the abdomen. All of these things are telling you there's a problem. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a severe problem. However, we definitely want to check the integrity of the spine and the muscles where those nerves track through. So make sure you let your doctor know exactly what you feel, even if you feel like it's insignificant. Another symptom that a lot of people don't think to tell, or maybe they're embarrassed to talk about, is the psychological changes that happen after being in an accident. Even minor ones. Speaking for myself, recently having a minor fender bender, it took a little bit of time for my nerves to calm down when I'm driving after that. I can only imagine what it's like for some of you that have been through horrific accidents. It's not any less of a issue than the body when we're talking about the mind. So make sure you express to your doctor if you're having anxiety being in the car, having nightmares at night. There's a lot that goes along with that, so just talk. Don't be embarrassed. It's a very real, natural response to be scared, timid, fearful after being in a traumatic event. The last symptom I want to talk to you about is not necessarily pain. If you come in, you can't really say, well, I don't really hurt, but I'm stiff. Well, that is another symptom of having injury to the spine, is feeling that stiffness. The soft tissues of the spine, ligaments, all those things that make your body move can be injured without you feeling severe pain. So stiffness is definitely a sign. That stiffness can kind of radiate down into your traps. It can radiate into the glutes, as we talked about earlier. So stiffness is also injury. Don't discount it. Chiropractic works. We're here for you.